Made your Lordship. Lordship, we have filed an IA for stay vacating, Lordship. That may come up on Monday,
No, not Monday, Wednesday.
Lordship.
My lord, I am praying for listing 2 matters today for today, my lord. My lord, they are as per appointment order, my lord. They have to join today itself, my lord. But in the meantime,
Today not possible.
my lord, in the meantime, some order has been passed, my lord, by the government that some clearance is needed, my lord. But they have to join, my lord, today itself, my lord.
Tomorrow we'll see. Head it tomorrow.
Tomorrow, my lord, today last day of January.
Can't help it. Tomorrow. We'll see. If some relief is possible, we'll give it.
Yes. obviously.
May I please, Lordship, my lord, similar matter, my similar, yeah, my lord. What happened, my lord, petitioner was transferred, my lord, by the order dated 26.
Motion.
Motion, my lord,
Tomorrow.
very urgent, my lord, tomorrow, my lord.
May it please your lordship, with the consent of the other side, I beg to mention item number 5 of today's daily cause list. Lordship, actually, this was mentioned and it came by order, but unfortunately, the counsel who would be arguing the case, she's down with high fever. She got drenched in rain while going back home.
Who is the counsel?
B. Sharma, her name, I engaged her, Lordship, because after Giuzir, I had to engage someone else. But
After vacation.
after vacation, Lordship.
On the prayer of learned counsel for the petitioner admission
Devi.
hearing of this matter. P. Devi, admission hearing of this matter stands adjourned for 3 weeks, just after vacation.
Lordship.
Just after summer vacation.
Lordship.
May it please your lordship, I beg to mention item number 22 and 23, lordship. Lordship, we file an affidavit in reply on 24th January 23, lordship. I have gone through the record, but that is not there, lordship. So the record may be called for
23?
20, lordship. Item number 22 and 23, lordship. And the hearing column, lordship.
What has happened? Affidavit is not on record.
Affidavit is not in the with the record, lordship. Affidavit in reply.
So we'll have it along with the affidavit next week.
Yes, lordship. That may be fixed, lordship.
Yes. Miss, your name
T.
please?
Begum.
T. Begum, learned counsel for the petitioner submits that it is an additional affidavit.
No, lordship. Affidavit in reply.
The affidavit in reply filed on behalf of the writ petitioner in these cases are not on record. And therefore, these matters be listed again in the next week along with the rejoinder affidavit. Prayer allowed, registry to verify and list the matters again in the next week by tagging the rejoinder affidavit with the record of the case.
Reply, lordship.
Yes. Yes,
Okay, sir.
yes.
May I please your lordship, I beg to mention for listing lordship, it's a compassionate appointment. Last occasion, lordship, or notice was issued. Kindly matter will be fixed next week, lordship.
Not next week. 4th week of June. 4th week.
May I please? I pray for a listing of this case, my lord, for a hearing, my lord. It was last on 23/5, my lord, but the
Choose a date after vacation.
I beg to mention for listing of withdrawal, your lordship, for tomorrow, your lordship.
All right.
Obliged.
Top of the list, item 1.
Visual lordship. As per the affidavit lordship 2011 lordship, petitioner age was 56 lordship at the relevant point of time lordship. And
What is the relief? he
the
sought?
relief they have sought for restructure the pay lordship? It was already done lordship. In our affidavit, we have filed affidavit lordship. Affidavit in paragraph 7 lordship, we have stated lordship. 7 and 9 also, 7, 8 and 9 lordship.
None appears for the petitioner on call. The prayer made in the writ petition is for issuance of a direction for restructuring the pay.
As per Fifth Commission's report lordship, they have paid for. And in our affidavit lordship, paragraph 7, we have stated lordship, it was done lordship. Page 5 lordship, there is a chart. lordship.
Restructuring the pay of the petitioner as per the recommendations of the Fifth Central Pay Commission. Full stop. Mr. Gogoi submits that this writ petition was instituted in the year 2011, when the age of the petitioner was 56 years, and therefore it is evident that he has retired from service in the meantime. Moreover, by referring to paragraph 7 of the counter affidavit filed by the respondents, Mr. Gogoi submits that the grievance of the petitioner has already been redressed. Be that as it may, since the petitioner's counsel has remained absent on 2 consecutive occasions, it appears that the petitioner is no longer interested to pursue this matter before this court. As such, this petition stands dismissed for non-prosecution.
Oblige, your lordship.
Take down. Who's appearing for the respondents? Union of India is there. None appears for the petitioner on call. The petitioner's counsel was absent even on the previous occasion. Mr. S.S. Roy Lanet, CGC, is present on behalf of the respondents. This writ petition was instituted in the year 2011, challenging the order of termination from service dated 6/1/2011. It appears that due to long lapse of time, the petitioner has lost interest in pursuing this matter any further. As such, this writ petition stands dismissed for non-prosecution.
Item 3.
May I please, Your Honor? Lordship, the matter may come up after vacation, Lordship.
No adjournment.
Lordship, my senior's mother-in-law expired.
Can't help it. What is this matter about?
Lordship, this matter pertains to the removal from the service. And he was a constable of an Central Reserve Police Force, Lordship. During the leave period, Lordship, he was found in the intoxicated conditions. Accordingly, a DP was initiated, and thereafter that order of removal has been passed. Lordship. That is 49.
All right, this will require her presence.
Lordship.
Heard Mr. Bejburwal and counsel for the petitioner. Also heard Ms.
M. Burman, on behalf of Mrs.
Counsel appearing on behalf of the respondents' counsel and submits that her senior, Ms. A. Gayan, CGC, engaged in this case, has suffered a bereavement in the family for which she is unable to come to court. As such, a prayer has been made to post this matter again after the ensuing summer vacation. Considering the ground on which the prayer is made, the same stands allowed, notwithstanding the fact that this matter pertains to the year 2015. Registered to release this case again in the 4th week of July 2023.
Can it be on 27, Lordship? 27.
4th week of July.
For admission, Margaret, item.
Yes, what is the matter?
No, this is basically promotion by way of selection to the post of grade 3. I'll just take your lordships with the facts of the case.
Yes.
Lordship will kindly come to annexure A1, page 14. May I read, Miller?
Yes.
In this was issued by the Under Secretary, Flood Control Department. In pursuance to Government Office Memorandum dated so and so, Sri Dinesh Kumar Singh, son of so and so Jamadar,
Flood control department is appointed temporarily as office peon in the pay scale of so and so plus other allowances as admissible under rules from time to time on compassionate ground against the resultant vacancy of Sri so and so peon promoted as Jamatar vice order date so and so. My lord, he was initially appointed in 1997. My lord, still he is in the same post. Now there is such a rule that your lordship will find
Then his service was regularized.
yes, my lord.
Where is the order?
No, this pursuant to this order, my lord, substantive appointment, my lord, compassionate ground appointment, substantive
No, it
appointment.
says he was appointed temporarily.
So that every order has, my lord, there is no dispute with regard to the fact that he is substantively appointed, my lord. There is seniority list, my lord, wherein their name, his name is there, my lord. I'll just place that, my lord. So after 1997, still he is in the same post, no promotion. No, there is a set of rule that your lordship will find page 16 annexure 2.
Yes.
Lordship will kindly turn to page 19. We are concerned with rule 8.3.
Yes, please.
Appointment to the post of lower division assistant shall be made. Now, lordship will kindly come to next page, page 20, serial number 3. By selection from amongst grade 4 staff and record suppliers of the secretariat who have passed the matriculation examination or high school leaving certificate examination or higher secondary or equivalent examination and have rendered at least 7 years of continuous service in the secretariat on the first day of the year in which selection on the first day of the year in which selection is made. Now note, sub-rule 2 and 3 of rule 8 were substituted by notification dated so and the words on the basis of a qualifying written examination to be conducted by the recruitment committee as inserted by the above notification in sub-rule 2 and 3 of rule 8 were deleted by notification dated so and so. Now note, next
So
note.
this rule is applicable to the petitioner?
Yes, my lord.
Why do you say so?
My lord, because he was initially recruited under, my lord, grade 4 staff and record of suppliers rules 1963. So for his promotion to the next higher post is to be regulated by this rule.
Why is it that?
Now he is to be promoted. His
Was
next.
he appointed at the secretariat?
Sorry, my lord.
His initial appointment was in the
No,
secretariat.
his initial appointment was this by the flood control department.
Right.
My lord, this aspect I have clarified in the additional affidavit because they raised this issue. My lord, initially flood control department was a separate department. Thereafter, PWD department, it was integrated into PWD department. But this, at that point of time, these grade 4 appointments are made in the grade 4 and record suppliers service rules 1983 by the flood control department or PWD department or irrigation department by the respective departments. Now, when the promotion to the next higher post would come, that will have to be by the under this rule, my lord. Assam Secretariat Subordinate Service Rule 1963. If your lordships see the meaning given in the definition column to the secretariat,
Yes.
it includes Public Works Department, my lord. Definition 5, Secretariat means all departments of the government secretariat, including the Chief Minister's Secretariat and the Public Works Department. So, although he was initially, at the time of initial appointment was under the flood control department, all those works department were integrated to the Public Works Department, and by virtue of that, my lord, he comes under the provisions of this rule, my lord, and his future prospects.
Where is that notification?
My lord, that I have stated in my additional affidavit, my lord. Your lordships, kindly turn to my additional affidavit. Para 3 and 4. Right.
Yes. Yes,
May I read, my lord?
yes.
That the deponent begs to state that as per Rule 2, Sub-Rule 2, Roman 2 of Assam Grade 4 and Record Supplier Service Rule 1963, Assam Secretariat means all departments of the Secretariat, including Chief Minister's Secretariat, but excluding PWD Secretariat. And appointing authority as defined in the rule is the Deputy Secretary to the Government of Assam, the then Secretariat Administration Department, now GAD. Since the earlier PW Secretariat was situated in a different campus outside the Dispute Secretariat, therefore there was no bar for Public Works Department in making appointment and promotion, etc., in the various posts.
So basic issue is he wants to be considered for promotion to a grade 3 post.
Yes, my lord.
Versus junior to him has been promoted.
Yes, my lord.
That is the case.
That is the case.
So some rule will have to be applied here, whether this rule or that rule. But whichever rule you apply, you have to give him promotion. 25 years in the same post is not permissible. So either you tell, or we'll ask the chief secretary to look into it and consider his case under the relevant rules under 4, within 4 days.
Lordship will kindly record our submissions, Lordship.
Yeah, same
And
word.
ultimately, as so far as rules are concerned, Lordship, Lordship will kindly record our submission, and then Lordship will,
What is your submission?
Lordship may kindly take up the
This is a grade 4 person. He was appointed in 1997.
Dot.
You are hiding behind this technicality, that technicality.
Ekan deri ana.
What is the way forward? Why don't you tell us? We'll pass an order accordingly. You can't say that, sorry, we will not consider him. All you are asking is this court to write a 60-page judgment on these kind of issues.
Lordship, this is a issue, Lordship, that
We will
otherwise,
carry it for the whole day today. Let's start. To give us the chronology, show us the records.
Yes.
After he was appointed, where he went, what he
Lordship,
did.
Lordship, may kindly
Yeah.
see the rule.
We'll
Lordship.
hear the matter.
Milord, Lordship,
You
that is
start.
better also because what my, the respondents are saying, absolutely incorrect, Milord.
You argue then.
Yes, yes, right recruitment. 30% by promotion eligible from typees by selection and 10% by selection from amongst grade 4 staff and record suppliers. That is from the petitioners. Now, your lordship will kindly come page 21, right-hand side, my lord. There is another note. Appointment by selection under sub-rule 2 and 3 will be made from the select list prepared under rule 12. Lordship's got my lord?
Yes.
Now, your lordship will kindly come to rule 12 in page 23. Lordship's got my lord?
Yes.
The appointment authorities shall refer to the committee the approximate number of vacancies likely to occur in each of the categories and furnish the committee with the character roll and personnel files of all eligible candidates. The committee shall examine the character roll and personnel file of candidate, take into consideration the seniority and merit of the candidate, and prepare separate list of names in accordance of preference of recruitment under Rule 7, 1, 8, 2, 8, 3, and 9. The list shall be forwarded by the committee to the appointing authority. The appointing authority shall consider the list prepared by the committee along with character roll and personal files of the candidate and approve the list unless it considered any change necessary. If the appointing authority considered it necessary to make any change in the list received from the committee, he shall inform the committee of the changes proposed, and after taking into account the comments, if any, of the committee, may approve the list finally with such modification, if any, as may in his opinion be just and proper. The list so finally approved by the appointing authority shall for select list for the purpose of appointment under the aforesaid rule. Now, your lordship will kindly come to page 24, rule 14. The selection committee shall meet once a year and review and revise the select list everywhere. Meaning thereby they have to sit every year. Year-wise select list has to be prepared to fill up the vacancies. Now,
Mr. Das, these arguments are only complicating the matter. You need to simplify the issue.
Milord, if you
We
now,
will hear the matter after vacation.
no, Milord, I'm
Start with these
just trying.
arguments. Yes.
Milord, I place the rule to only show that
The
how,
issue is very simple.
yes.
You tell us which rule according to you is applicable here. You say 63 rules. We'll ask them why this is not the stage and pass an order.
Lordship will
Selection
then-
committee will meet this, that. how
I'll
these are
just,
relevant.
no, they are disputing that the 63 rule is not applicable. But this honorable court, when we approached the earlier occasion, when I am also a petitioner, directed them to consider our case on 2 points, whether the vacancies which arose prior to coming of the rule will be applicable or not, and number 2, whether they can fill up year-wise or club. They come up with a decision that I'll just place that decision. Pursuant to that direction, the respondents came up with a decision.
All right, so what is your submission? First formulate that. What are your submissions?
Milord, my submission is that I am covered, my promotion has to be considered under the 1964 rules, Milord. This page 17, my lord.
And the reason thereof is, and the reason therefore?
The reason therefore is that LDA, because the rule grade 4 and record supplier rules, there is no post of LDA. For coming to the cadre of LDA, I'll have to be guided by this rule. My promotion has to be considered by this rule.
All right, this is point number 1. Number 2.
Number 2 point is that, my lord, in the year 2013, when the petitioner, along with 8 others, approached this honorable court, when they were doing nothing, because it is the GAD department which wrote to the irrigation department that send the ACRs of Dinesh Kumar Singh. His case has to be considered for promotion to the grade 3 post. When they did nothing, we approached this honorable court. This honorable court, my lord, pass an order saying that consider two aspects. First, whether rules that came later will be applicable or the rules that was in existence at the time of vacancy that will be applicable. And number two consideration they were directed to make was that whether you can fill up the vacancy year-wise or by clubbing up. They come up with a decision that no, there were 9 vacancies at that point of time, which were there pursuant to the prior to the coming of the rule. Those vacancies are to be filled up by the previous rule, and the vacancies are to be filled up year-wise. Out of those 9 persons, my lord, 8 persons they have given promotion. Similarly situated person they given promotion. They did not give promotion, saying that I don't belong to the GAD department. One person who was junior to me, who did not join in the earlier writ petition, he filed a writ petition before this honorable court praying for similar relief. This honorable court will not dispose of that writ petition in tune with the order passed by the this honorable court in the case of the petitioner. Now what happened? The department, they filed a review petition in that disposed of writ petition, raising same contention. There, that person was appointed by the PWD department initially. They say PWD was not a party and this person do not belong to GAD department. That order also I have given. Then review was allowed. PWD was made a party and PWD was asked to give its stand. PWD came before this court and filed affidavit. That affidavit has been quoted in the order. And PWD said that the promotion of that person who was junior to me has to be considered under the page 17 rule, my lord. That is the contention. Now, considering that aspect of the matter, this honorable court says that nothing doing, you consider his case for promotion under the page 17 rule. They considered the case of that particular junior person in terms of this rule, and they given him promotion. The reasons in his case, my case, absolutely identical. Both the orders I have shown. Also, will kindly come to the reasons given in his case. Junior.
Let us see the orders.
Yes, my lord. First, Lordship will kindly come to page 9, the first writ petition that we filed, Annexion 9, page 51. My name is at serial number 9.
Yes.
My name is at serial number 9, Dinesh Kumar Singh. Now, your lordship will kindly come to the
No, let us
page
read the whole order. Let us.
yes, my lord, that will be better, my lord. Para 2, the petitioners numbering 9 are aspirants for promotion to the post of junior administrative assistant. Presently, they are in grade 4 cadre. As per the requirement of the pre-amended rule, a candidate for promotion to junior administrative assistant must be higher secondary pass. However, after amendment notified on 19/10/2012, the required qualification has now been raised to graduation. The rule in question is Assam Subordinate Services Rule 1963. The amendment brought to the said rule by notification dated 19/10/2012, requiring the degree qualification for promotion to the post of junior administrative assistant. The said amendment was put to challenge by filing WPC number so-and-so by some grade 4 employees. The writ petition was disposed of by order dated so-and-so upholding the validity of the amendment. Unlike the said proceeding, the issue raised in the present proceeding is as to whether the amendment brought about by notification dated so-and-so can have no retrospective effect so as to take away the chances of promotion of the petitioners against the vacancies which occurred prior to the amendment. Initially, required qualification for promotion was HSLC passed, which was upgraded to higher secondary by amendment brought in 1999. Thereafter, by amendment referred to above, the qualification was upgraded to graduation. Placing reliance on certain decisions of the apex court, including the decision of this court, Sri So-and-so learned counsel for the petitioner submitted that the vacancies which arose prior to the amendment must be filled up as per the pre-amended rules. According to him, there were 90 vacancies, and as per the quota prescribed for promotion from grade D category, there were 9 vacancies before the amendment. Thus, he submits that the case of the petitioner is required to be considered against the said 9 vacancies, applying the provisions of the pre-amended rule, in terms of which the qualification required is higher secondary pass. In the decisions on this, which Mr. So-and-so counsel for the petitioner has placed reliance are reported in so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. Now, para 6. The respondents have filed their counter affidavit in which it has been stated that since there has been amendment to the recruitment rule, now the promotion is required to be made as per the amendment, which has been upheld by the division bench of this court referred to above. Sri So-and-so learned standing counsel, a state counsel in reference to the said affidavit submits that once the amendment brought to the rules have been upheld by this court, the promotion to the post of junior administrative assistant will have to be governed by the amended rule, not by the pre-amended rule. In so-and-so, the apex court held that the vacancies in the promotional post occurring prior to the amendment have to be filled up in accordance with the unamended rules. In so-and-so, while holding that filling of the post are for clear or anticipated vacancies arising in a year, it has also held that mere inclusion of a name in the list does not confer any right on him or her for appointment. While holding that it is not incumbent that all the posts may be filled up, also held that the authority must act reasonably, fairly, and in public interest, and omission thereof should not be arbitrary. In so-and-so, the issue involved was that as to whether the vacancies arising over the years could be bunched together for consideration in a single selection. It was held that the separate selection for vacancies of each year should be made on the basis of the prevalent instruction. In BL Gupta Supra, also it was held that the vacancies which arose prior to the amendment of the rules should be filled up according to the pre-amended rules and not as per the amended rules. The said view was following by this court in so-and-so, holding that vacancies arising in a given year are to be filled up according to the rules which was operational. In the instant case, it is the case of the petitioners that since there are 9 vacancies against 10% quota earmark for the category to which the petitioners belong to, before the amendment was brought by notification dated so-and-so, their case is required to be considered as per the pre-amended rule. In this connection, the petitioners have referred to the Annexure C6A order dated so-and-so to show that there are vacancies. In fact, by Annexure 7 notice dated so-and-so, the grade 4 employees who had completed 7 years of continuous service as grade 4 has passed higher secondary and above examination were directed to furnish particulars mentioned in the notice. Thereafter, process was initiated and the petitioner submitted their particulars. However, the selection was not conducted. Thereafter, the aforesaid proceeding, aforesaid challenge was made to the amended rules. However, the amended provision have been upheld by division bench by the order dated so-and-so. From the aforesaid negation of facts and the basic issue which has arisen for consideration is that as to whether the vacancies which were existing prior to the amendment brought by notification dated so-and-so are required to be filled up as per the pre-amended rules. Another issue which requires consideration is that as to whether the respondents were obliged to hold selection every year or could have clubbed the vacancies of several years in a single selection. In this connection, Sri So-and-so learned counsel for the petitioners has also referred to the decision reported in so-and-so, in which it was held that the norms or the rules as existing on the date when the process of selection begins will control such selection, and any alteration of such norms would not affect the continuing process unless specifically the same were given retrospective effect. Para 10. In the instant case, the amendment was brought on 19/10/2012, clearly stipulating that such amendment would come into force on the date of their publication on the official gazette. The official gazette is dated so-and-so. Thus, the amended provision came into effect from the said date. According to the petitioners, vacancies were existed prior to the said amendment, so they have specified the number of vacancies as 9. In the counter affidavit filed by the respondent, this aspect of the matter has not been denied. However, the stand taken is that since the rules has already been amended, the said amended provision would apply to the selection. In view of the above, the writ petition is disposed of directing the respondents to consider the following. There are two directions. Whether in view of the fact that the vacancies in question have fallen vacant prior to the amendment brought on 19-2010-2012, the same would be governed by the pre-amended rules. Number two, whether the respondents were required to hold the selection every year or club vacancies in a single selection. Depending upon the outcome of the consideration of the case in the above manner, the further course of action will be undertaken. This exercise to be carried out and completed as expeditiously as possible, preferably within so and so. Now, if your lordships kindly turn to.
So in this case, the state has not taken a stand that he belongs to some other department.
No.
Not covered by the. rule.
No,
That
no
was
stand, no stand was taken, my lord. And this honorable court directed that consider their case within those two parameters. Prior to that, I'd just like to draw your lordship's attention to one communication issued at page 49. Page 49, your lordship will see. On 7 December 2010, the Secretariat Administration Department wrote this to the Water Resource Department Under Secretary. Subject is submission of ACRs due to promotion to the post of JAA from eligible grade 4. Down below, your lordship, the undermentioned peon grade 4 attached to you, your department is due for promotion to the post of JAA or Assam Secretariat Civil. You are therefore requested to send the ACR special report in respect of the peon grade 4 for the years mentioned in the enclosed format. His name is at serial number down below, Dinesh Kumar Singh. So, Secretariat Administration Department asked the Water Resource Department that this person is within your administrative control, but he is entitled for promotion for from grade 4 to grade 3. So, kindly send his ACRs. The Water Resource Department did nothing. Thereafter, my lord will kindly see another communication. That is at page 2000, 5th March 2013, page 50. This was written by Deputy Secretary of the Government of Assam, Secretariat Administration Department to the Superintendent Water Resource Department. Submission of ACR due to promotion to the post of Junior Administrative Assistant from eligible grade 4. In inviting reference to the subject cited above, I am directed to request you to kindly furnish the ACR special report in respect of the following grade 4 staff who have been serving under your administrative control. As per format enclosed herewith, the ACR special report is required in connection with promotion to the post of JAA, so and so, so and so, so and so. His name is there. So they wanted the ACR of this department, which department now disowning me. They wrote communications to the Water Resource Department that send his ACRs, we want to promote him, he is within the zone of consideration for promotion. Now, when even after all this, nothing had happened, thereafter, these petitioners approached this Honorable Court by filing 4647/2013, that is page 51, order your lordship has just read. After that, my lord, they passed an order that your lordship, after the Honorable High Court's order, the respondents passed the speaking order, page 58, annexure 11. May I read, my lord?
Yes.
Since both the order, one thing I would like to clarify, my lord, here. After this order passed by this Honorable Court, one junior, that is Gajendra Kumar Roy, who was not a petitioner in that writ petition, he filed a separate writ petition. That is WBC 564/2015, mention has been made in this order. He got a similar order.
Where is that order?
My lord, that order is not there, but the subsequent order I have annexed, my lord. I'll just show. So, my lord, both the orders were considered by this common speaking order. Since both the orders of the Honorable High Court dated so and so and so and so, passed in WBC number so and so.
Just 1 minute.
My lord.
See if you can get the order in WBC 564/2015. Gajendra Kumar Ray.
Yes, my lord. I'm grateful, my lord. Seen both the orders of the Honorable High Court dated so and so and so and so, passed in WBC number so and so, Sri Kishore Kumar Lakor and others versus State of Assam, and WPC number 564/15, Sri Gajendra Kumar Roy and State of Assam and others respectively. Views of the Judicial Department obtained in this regard is also reproduced below. Your endorsement above. It appears that the post which fell vacant prior to the amendment, that is 2010-2012 of the rules, will be governed by the pre-amended rules. As such, the vacancies which arose from
You're
2011,
reading from which page?
page 58, my lord. I'm sorry.
Yes,
I'm sorry, my lord.
yes.
May I read, my lord, again?
Hmm.
Seen both the orders of the Honorable High Court dated 27/11/2014 and 22/4/2015, passed in WPC number 4647/2013, Sri Kishore Kumar Lakor and others versus State of Assam and others, and WPC number 564/15 in Gajendra Kumar Roy of State of Assam and others respectively. Views of Judicial Department obtained in this regard is reproduced below. Your endorsement above. It appears that the post which fell vacant prior to the amendment, that is 2010-2012 of the rules, will be governed by the pre-amended rules. As such, the vacancies which arose from 2011 till 1910-2012 are required to be filled up from amongst the persons who are eligible for promotion under the pre-amended rules. The department may consider the case of promotion in respect of vacancies arising each year separately in accordance with law. The department may take steps for complying with the order of the Honorable High Court passed in WPC number so and so. This has the approval of LR Assam. To comply with the order of the court and taking into consideration the views of the Judicial Department, the department has decided, with the approval of the Additional Chief Secretary, that the post occurred during the year 2011 and 2012, as shown below, that is prior to the amendment of service rule, would be filled up against year-wise vacancies from amongst the eligible grade 4 staff and record suppliers as per the pre-amended rule. 2011 5 posts, 2012 4 posts, total 9 posts. As per the order of the Honorable High Court, the names of the petitioner will be placed before the selection committee for consideration for promotion to the post of JAA. So this Honorable Court, my lord, did not decide anything, my lord. This Honorable Court said that you decide which rule you want to apply and how you are going to fill up the post, year-wise or clubbing up. Both these contentions, my lord, they took up a decision that the vacancies which came prior to the coming of the rule, those will be filled up by the earlier rule, and select list has to be year-wise. It is their decision. Now your worship will kindly come to page 70 for a moment. This is the rejection order of that Gajendra Kumar Roy.
Yes.
Promotion to the post of JAA from grade 4. With reference to your petition dated so and so on the subject cited above, the following is furnished for information. Secretariat Administrative Department has taken necessary follow-up action to comply with the Honorable Guwahati High Court's order dated so and so in so and WPC number so and so, Gajendra Kumar Roy versus State of Assam and others. A copy of the speaking order in this regard bearing so and so dated so and so is enclosed for your reference. Speaking order that I have read, my lord, page 58. Further, please be informed that your petition could not be considered, my lord, this is important. Your petition could not be considered as you are not appointed by SA Nazarat Department. This ground, they rejected the case of Gajendra Kumar Roy. Now, your lordship will kindly come to page 57. This is with respect to the petitioner. With reference to your petition dated so and so on the subject cited above, the following is furnished for information. Secretariat Administrative Department has taken necessary follow-up action to comply with the Honorable High Court's order dated so and so, so and so, so and so. A copy of speaking order in this regard bearing number so and so is enclosed here for reference. Further, please be informed that your petition could not be considered as you were not appointed by the SA Nazarat Department. Same thing. In his case, government said you are not appointed by the SA Nazarat Department, now GAD, and petitioner's case, same thing. Now, your lordship, kindly come to the
The Gajendra Kumar Roy case order is not annexed to the writ petition.
Yes, it's annexed, page 63.
You just said it is
So
not. annexed.
2000, Milord, there were two orders. Initially, he filed a writ petition that was disposed of by passing similar order. The government filed a review petition in that writ petition. After review, what has been held by this honorable, that I have annexed. But initial common order, Milord, similar order, that has not been annexed. The subsequent order, page 63. This will be sufficient to satisfy your lordships, Milord.
Let us read it.
Yes. Page 64, it starts, Milord. Heard so-and-so learned counsel for the petitioner, also heard so-and-so learned counsel for the respondents. Para 2. The petitioner's case in brief is that as the petitioner is eligible for promotion to the post of judicial junior administrative assistant, as a direction should be issued to the respondents to promote him to the post of JAA Grade C as per Assam Secretariat Subordinate Service Rules 1963, herein referred to as 1963 rules, and the subsequent Assam Secretariat Subordinate Service Amendment Rules 1999, hereafter referred to as 1999 rules. The petitioner's counsel submit that as the vacancies in the post of JAA occurred prior to the coming into force of Assam Secretariat Service Subordinate Service Amendment Rule 2012, hereinafter referred to as 2012 rules, the petitioner would have to be considered for promotion on the basis of the rules existing at the time when the vacancies occurred and not as per the amended rule. The petitioner's counsel submits that the petitioner was appointed as grade 4 employee by the Secretary to the Government of Assam in Public Works Department, the Assam Secretariat PWD would have to consider appointment of the petitioner for promotion to the post of JAA Grade C as per 1963 rules and 1999 rules. Sri so-and-so learned counsel for the state respondents also submits that the vacancies would have to be filled as per the rules in force at the time when vacancies occurred. He also fairly admits that Assam Secretariat Public Works Department would be the nodal department for considering promotion of the petitioners to the post of JAA. I have considered heard the learned counsel for the parties. The petitioner is serving as grade 4 peon in the Assam Secretariat under the PWD Nazarat branch. 1963 rules provides for promotion of a grade 4 employee to a grade 3 post to the extent of 10% of the vacancies in grade 3 in the year of selection. The writ petition had earlier been disposed of by this court by order dated 22/4/2015. That is the earlier order. In line with order dated 27/11/2014 passed in WPC number so-and-so, the relevant portion of the order dated so-and-so passed in WPC is reproduced below. In the instant case, it is the case of the petitioners that since there are 9 vacancies against 10 quota earmarked for the category to which the petitioners belong to.
That part has been read already, the other order.
Yes, Milord, similar order.
2014.
Yes, Milord. Same order passed by this honorable court in Gajendra Kumar Roy's case.
Yes.
Now, para 9, Milord. Subsequent to the above disposal of the writ petition by order dated so-and-so, a review petition was filed by the state of Assam contending that though the petitioner had been serving as peon in the office of the PWD Nazarat branch situated within Assam Secretariat complex, the petitioner was not under the administrative control of the Secretariat Administrative Department and that the appropriate authority was only the PWD. Same thing. Here they say, I'll have to be by the irrigation. Thereafter, this court allowed the review petition by order dated so-and-so on the ground that PWD had not been made a party earlier and they should accordingly be made party in the present case. Thereafter, PWD was implemented as respondent number 45 by order dated so-and-so passed in I so-and-so. Affidavit in opposition filed by the respondent file states in para 4 as follows. This is important. That with regard to the statement made in para 10 of the petition, the deponent begs to state that the petitioner was appointed as grade 4 by the Secretary to the Government of Assam in PWD Assam Secretariat and is presently serving as grade 4 peon in PWD Nazarat branch and the office is situated within the Assam Secretariat complex. But for promotion for grade 4 peon to grade 3 should have been Junior Administrative Assistant Assam Secretariat Subordinate Service Rule is applicable. PWD, Milord, it is the stand of the government before this honorable court that for promotion from grade 3 to grade 4 to grade 3, Milord, Secretariat Service Rule 1963 will be applicable in this stand in the case of my junior. The deponent further begs to state that when vacancies arises in the cadre of grade 3, Secretariat Administration Department issued notice to all the technical department and other departments under Assam Secretariat to send the names and other required information of eligible grade 4 employees to SA Nazarat. Moreover, the Secretariat Administration Nazarat Department requests the concerned departments to furnish ACR special report in respect of grade 4 staff serving under the administrative control of concerned departments for promotion to grade 3 junior administrative assistant. After observing all the necessary formalities, SA Establishment Department issues promotional order from grade 4 to grade 3, including the eligible candidates from PWD also. In view of the stand taken by the state respondents that the promotion of the petitioner from grade 4 to the post of JAA will have to be done by the Secretary Administration Nazarat Department, and that the 1963 rules would be applicable for considering the promotion of the petitioner, the Secretary Administration Department Nazarat Department is directed to consider the promotion of the petitioner from grade 4 to grade 3 JAA post as per 1963 rules and 1999 rules as the vacancies occurred before the 2012 rules came into force. The same should be done within a period of 2 months from the date of receipt of the certified copy of the order. In the event it is found that the juniors of the petitioner have already been promoted, the state respondents shall promote the petitioner with effect from the date of which juniors have been promoted. Now, pursuant to this order, the respondents, they passed page 69 order, annexure 15. They promoted Sri Gajendra Kumar Roy. In compliance of the Honorable High Court's order dated so-and-so, passed in contempt case number so-and-so, Sri Gajendra Kumar Roy, PW Department, is promoted temporarily to officiate as Junior Administrative Assistant under Rule 83 of Assam Secretariat Subordinate Service Rule 1963 as amended in the pay band of so-and-so per month with retrospective effect from the date on which his immediate junior was promoted and posted at Political A Department. Now, fact that this Gajendra Kumar Roy was my junior, that your lordship will find page 38, annexure 3. This was a communication which enclosed the list. This communication was by the administrative officer. Lordship's got my lord. This communication was by the administrative officer, Secretariat Administration Department to the Undersecretary Government of Assam, Secretary Administration Department. Promotion of grade 4 employees to the post of JAA, consideration thereof. In inviting reference to your letter on the subject cited above, I am directed to furnish names of 44 number of grade 4 employees who have fulfilled the eligibility criteria for promotion to the next level. Accordingly, a statement showing their names as per their seniority, date of joining, educational qualification, etc., along with their ACRs, consecutive 3 years are enclosed herewith for necessary action. So they give the chart in terms of seniority, date of showing, in terms of seniority, date of joining, educational qualification. Page 39, your lordship, second last, Dinesh Kumar Singh.
Yes.
Dinesh Kumar Singh, he is the petitioner, and in the next page, my lord will find the first person, page 40, Gajendra Kumar Roy. This list was sent in accordance with seniority, my lord. This was sent in accordance with seniority, and I am at second last position, and after me, Sri Gajendra Kumar Roy. His date of joining was 31/8/1998. Now the issue boils down to,
Yes.
the issue boils down to only one fact. When you rejected my case, when the respondents rejected the case of my junior on citing an identical reason that you don't belong to GAD department or ASERI department, that writ petition of my junior there was an order. Pursuant to that order, you have appointed him to the post of grade 3. How can you, my lord, take a stand in my case that he is not entitled to the similar relief as has been given in this order dated 29/8/2018, page 63, WPC number 564/2015. They file an affidavit, my lord, wherein they have annexed one minutes. This will fortify my claim further, my lord. My lord will kindly take the affidavit filed by the respondents. Perhaps that will be running page 71. Affidavit filed by
Yes,
Lordship Sportman.
yes.
Now here they have annexed one minutes of the discussion in the Assam Secretariat Grateful Employees Association, that is page 81, annexure 2.
So since when is the petitioner serving in the
Same post from initial appointment.
secretary?
They
He
were
is
all
not-
along.
He is in the Water Resources Department or in the secretary?
Initially, when he was appointed, although he was shown to be appointed in the Water Resource Department, but since their birth, they are working in the establishment of SAD in the Secretariat itself. That is what PWD in the affidavit filed in the other case before this honorable court has stated. Now here they in page annexure 2, two communications I'll just place before your lordships. This is a minutes of the meeting with the association.
Yes.
The meeting was held under the chairmanship of Commissioner and Secretary SAD. The members of the association wanted to discuss 4 main issues at serial number 4, 5, 6, and 10 of their charter of 11 demands. After a threadbare discussion on this issue,
We are reading on page 82.
page perhaps, my lord, annexure 2, my lord, it is a minutes of the meeting dated 15/5/2015. 81. Internal page 11, my lord. Right hand side top.
Yes.
May I read, my lord? The members of the association wanted to discuss 4 main issues stated at serial number 4, 5, 6, and serial number 10 of their charter of 11 demands. After a threadbare discussion on this issue, the following decisions were taken. Commissioner and Secretary explained that out of the vacancies that arises in the year, only 5% can be filled up for compassionate ground. As per, this is not relevant. Serial number 2 is relevant. It was decided that there can be only one gradation list for grade 4 employees. Grade 4 employees who are not appointed by the SA Nazarat department cannot be included in the gradation list. Now, your lordship will kindly read serial number 4. As suggested by the grade 4 association, SAD will issue reminders to all departments to release grade 4 staff of outside offices being detailed in Assam Secretariat. So this meeting was of 2015. In 2015, the Commissioner and Secretary convened a meeting with the association and came to the conclusion that now onwards, there will be only one seniority list, and the persons, grade 4 employees who belong to other department are working in the GAD department or SAD, they'll have to be released. Now, your lordship, kindly come to the next page. This is the final meeting that was held on 26/2019. Date is relevant, my lord. May I read?
Yes.
Sri Dibbojyoti Sharma, Deputy Secretary to the Government of Assam Personnel Department, who attended in the meeting along with Sri So-and-so, Under Secretary to the Government of Assam Personnel Department as nominee of the Personnel Department, opined that there is problem for promotion of grade 4 appointed by other department if the appointing authority is not SA department, as they are covered under 2 separate gradation lists showing their seniority separately amongst themselves. However, during the discussion, mention was made of earlier instances where some of the grade 4 appointed by the PWD department have been promoted by the SA department to the post of JAA. As an instance, one incumbent has been promoted up to the post of additional secretary. This is Gajendra Kumar Roy Milord. He is now additional secretary. Recently, who was originally appointed by PWD department, contempt case number so and so department is pending. Further, it was pointed out by secretary in the meeting that grade 4 staff and
So
records.
he became additional secretary from grade 4.
Yes. Lordship will kindly
Any
appreciate the
chance
hard
of
burning.
becoming chief secretary?
No, that is the highest.
That is the, can Gajendra Kumar Rai become chief secretary or no?
That is the highest.
That is the highest.
Lordship will appreciate the hard burning. I am still peon. He is junior Milord. He is additional secretary. All right, Milord. I'm just. Further, it was pointed out by secretary in the meeting that grade 4 staff and record suppliers of the secretariat are promoted to the post of JAA as per provisions of Assam Secretariat Subordinate Service Rule 1963. They themselves are saying, Milord, that 1963 rule is applicable. They themselves notified by so and so, 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 wherein the secretariat has been defined and includes all departments of the government secretariat, including the chief minister's secretariat and public works department. Accordingly, grade 4 employees of the other department, that is public works department, were considered for promotion to the post of JAA at par with other grade 4 employees of SA Nazarat department. However, a meeting was held with grade 4 association wherein it was decided not to include the grade 4 employees who are not appointed by SA Nazarat branch in the gradation list during the year 2015. That means not to include the grade 4 employees of other departments was decided in the year 2015. And since then, the grade 4 employees appointed by PWD department have not been considered for promotion to the post of JAA as per above service rule. It was also pointed out that except of this copy of minus dated so and so signed by deed and commissioner and secretary SAD department, no other government OM or notification to this effect has so far been issued from this department. Hence, the Assam Secretariat Subordinate Service Rules 1963 holds the field at present. Further, it was observed by Sri So-and-so Under Secretary of the Government of Assam Personnel Department that since it was a matter of contempt case, the order of the Honorable High Court is required to be followed. It was also discussed in the meeting that since the grade 4s who were appointed by other than SA department work under the campus of the Assam Secretariat, they should get the promotional benefit at par with other similarly situated employees since they were getting the benefits of earlier and technical department doesn't have such provision. Views of Deputy Secretary to the Government of Assam WPT BC department was also sought for on the matter of availability of 2 posts which is reserved for STH and are to be filled by HS pass candidates as per pre-amended rules. He opined that these 2 posts had to be de-reserved. I'll just pause here for a moment, Milord. Lordship will remember there were 9 posts prior to 2012. There were 9 petitioners. 8 were given earlier. 1 post remained. So, how they gave Gajendra Roy 2 posts, those were reserved for STH. Those posts were de-reserved. 2 more vacancies they created to give promotion. 1 is still there, as per my understanding, Milord. After threadbare discussion, the Secretary to the Government of Assam Secretariat Administration Department was of the opinion that in this matter, views of the Judicial Department had been sought for, wherein they had advised to follow Honorable High Court's order. Later on, he was of the view that after recommending that single case of Gajendra Kumar Roy, it would be closed forever by amending the Assam Secretariat Subordinate Service Rules 1963 in order not to promote any grade 4 who were appointed other than SA Nazarat department. Finally, it was decided to place the entire matter in the selection committee as and when convened. Now, Milord, equity and fairness demands, reasonable opportunity demands that When you consider a person junior to me for the next higher promotion to grade 3 post, you should have ascertained whether there was any senior persons than this Gajendra Kumar Roy eligible for promotion, my lord. They did not do it. Situated thus, I approach this honorable court praying for an identical relief that has been given to Gajendra Kumar Roy. And it is the respondents, they themselves has said in the minutes of the meeting that grade 4 employees will be covered under 1963 rules for promotion to grade 3. It is their minutes, their officers are saying before the committee. Now, how can you take a stand before the court now that he doesn't belong to me? He is not covered under 1963 rules. How can you take that stand? When that is not there, your stand in the affidavit also. In the affidavit and the in the order of rejection, you only say that you don't belong to the SN Nazarat Band. We cannot consider your case, which is your decision after 2015. After 2015, in the year 2015, you convened a meeting with the association. You came to a decision. Now onwards, we will not do anything. We will not allow persons from other department to come to the gradation list of SAD. We'll send all the person back. But what about those, the petitioner who was already there in 2009 and 10? You consider the person junior to me. Now, how can you take this stand? Another submission was made by my learned friend, although that is not pleaded in the affidavit, my lord. It's a point of law that Rangia judgment, that rule prevailing at the time of existence of vacancy will govern the field. That has been revisited in Rajkumar. Now, in that context, my submission would be, my lord, Lordship will kindly appreciate, I initially approached this honorable court. This honorable court gave two directions, A, B. Ask you to decide. You decide which rule will be applicable. You decided that up to 2012, the earlier rule will be applicable and year-wise vacancy has to be filled up. You implemented that decision. So far as this applicability of rule is concerned, that attained finality, my lord. You rejected my case in another ground, that I don't belong to GAD department. It was not your ground that the rule, the law, point of law, the position on law has been changed. Now, how can you unsettle my lord, legal situation wherein you have given the seal of approval? How can you unsettle now?
All right. So anything else to
No,
add?
this is precisely my case. So they cannot now unsettle the settled position. I am entitled for consideration in terms of the order passed by this court in the year in WPC number that is page 17, my lord. The first order passed by this honorable court. So you cannot deprive me from that consideration. And you have decided that your committee members are deciding, sitting together, that the earlier rule will be applicable. So that judgment of Rajkumar, I am not in disagreement with the proposition of law. But if we see the facts of this case and the facts of this case, my lord, totally different, my lord. In that case, within 4 months, new rule came. Everything was in pipeline. In that context, the Honorable Apex Court has clarified the Rangia and held that rule prevailing on the date of consideration will hold the field. But here, my lord, my right of consideration accrued way back in the year 2010. You should have whole year-wise DPC. You should have whole
You
year.
have made those points.
My lord.
Yes.
So they cannot take benefit of their own wrong and all this.
Yes, Mr. Nayak.
Lordship will take the rules first, Lordship. Lordship, I have given one bunch, Lordship. These rules are there in the repetition and additional affidavit also, but for convenience, I am taking assistance of these rules, Lordship.
Yes, please.
Lordship, one annexer A is there. Assam Secretariat Grade 4 and Record Supplier Service Rule, Lordship. Lordship, this is a rule of 1963. Lordship, may kindly see serial number 1, appointing authority. Appointing authority means the Deputy Secretary to the Government of Assam in the Secretariat Administration Department. Then Lordship will come to serial number 2, Roman 2 of clause 2, Lord, section 2, Lord, rule 2, Lordship. Assam Secretariat means all departments of the Government Secretariat, including Chief Minister's Secretariat, but excluding the PWD Secretariat.
Yes.
So far as the service of grade 4 and record suppliers in the Secretariat are concerned, this rule governs their service, Lordship. This is the rule. So if someone is appointed by the Secretary of the Secretariat Administration Department, and if he belongs to the Secretariat other than the PWD Secretariat, then he is an employee of the Secretariat. In his case, these conditions are not present, Lordship. He was appointed by the Undersecretary to the Water Resources Department. That is one. Lordship, may kindly see Rule 5, Lordship, of the same rule.
Yes.
Method of recruitment, Lordship. Recruitment to various posts as specified below shall be made by the method noted against its namely. A1, Lordship.
Yes.
Lordship, may kindly see peons. He was appointed as a peon by direct recruitment, Lordship. At B, Lordship will see doctories, bookbinders, menders. By promotion strictly on merit cum seniority from literate peons who have served for at least 5 years in the Assam Secretariat. Next post, Lordship, Jamadar. By promotion strictly on merit cum seniority from peons who have served for at least 10 years in the Assam Secretariat. Similarly, Lordship will get record sorter and then record suppliers. By promotion strictly on merit cum seniority from record sorter. So these are from peon. There are promotional prospects, Lordship. Grade 4 is not the only, grade 3 is not the only post. If you are covered by this rule, then from peon, you are eligible to get promotion. At least 3 options are there. Now, where the confusion arose, Lordship? Lordship will see. Annexure E, Lordship. Another rule is there.
Yes. Annexure E.
Lordship. This is Assam Secretariat Subordinate Service Rule. Lordship, may kindly see here the appointing authority. Appointing authority 2-1, Lordship. Appointing authority means the Cabinet Secretary to the government, to the Chief Secretary to the Government of Assam. And Lordship will then see 2-5, Secretariat. Secretariat means all the departments of the Government Secretariat, including the Chief Secretary, Chief Minister's Secretariat, and the Public Works Department Secretariat. So far as this rule is concerned, which starts from typist to senior as UDA, Lordship. For their case, Lordship, Secretariat means includes the PWD Secretariat, Lordship. But so far as grade 4 is concerned, PWD is not included in the Secretariat service. Now, Lordship will see the confusion, where from the confusion arose, Lordship will, next page, Lordship will see serial number 8, lower division assistant. Take on it, Secretariat service. Page 16 over again.
Yes.
Rule 8, Lordship, lower division assistant. Appointment to the post of lower division assistant shall be made, 1, by direct recruitment on the basis of so and so. Then Lordship will come down to 3, Lordship. Lordship, sorry, at 2, Lordship will see 8-2 by selection from Secretariat service, page 16 over there. By selection from among typists. That is one option. One, direct recruitment. Second, typist. And third, Lordship will see at 3, by selection from among the grade 4 staff and record suppliers of the Secretariat, Lordship, who have passed the matriculation examination, higher secondary, so and so. Now, Lordship, when I say grade 4 and record supplier of Secretariat, I have to go to the earlier rule, Lordship, that regulates the service of grade 4 and record suppliers. When I say grade 4 and record suppliers of Secretariat, it would not go to the provision that PWD includes Secretariat. PWD includes Secretariat service only for the purpose of this rule, not for that rule, Lordship. So that is my first submission, Lordship. So far as the service of the petitioners are concerned, as peon, their services are not covered by the Assam Secretariat Grade 4 and Record Suppliers Rule 1963.
So there are two rules of 1963.
Yes, first one, Grade 4 and Record Supplier, Lordship. And second one, subordinates, Assam Secretariat's Subordinate Service Rule. Here, Lordship will get the post from typist to upper division assistant, Lordship.
So according to you, their service is covered by the first rule?
Neither of this rule, Lordship.
Neither.
Yes. First rule, Lordship, here appointing authority is the Secretariat Administration Department. As his appointment was not done by the Secretariat Administration Department, it was done by the Water Resources Department. So he cannot be an employee of the Assam Secretariat. Maybe you are working within the Secretariat campus, but it is not under the rule of Secretariat, Lordship. That is one. Secondly, Lordship, for the second rule, Lordship, grade 3 post is covered by the second rule, Subordinate Service Rule. There is a provision, Lordship, for promotion to that post from the post of grade 4 and record supplier. There, Lordship, one, that section 383, grade 4 and record suppliers of the Secretariat. 83. By selection from the grade 4 and staff and record supplier of the Secretariat. Lordship, when we say grade 4 and staff and record supplier of the Secretariat, Lordship, this is not under this rule, under that rule. So Secretariat decision, definition, we have to take from that rule, Lordship, not from this rule.
I've not followed this part of your argument.
83, Lordship.
Yes.
By selection from among the grade 4 staff and record suppliers of the Secretariat. Lordship, my friend is saying, taking the definition of Secretariat from this rule. In this rule, Lordship, Secretariat.
Mr. Nayak, just a minute. Grade 4 staff in the Secretariat is appointed under which rules?
Earlier rule, Lordship.
So
Lordship.
therefore, if you are to give effect to rule 8.3 of the subsequent rule, the second rule, then the grade 4 staff here means those grade 4 people, according to you, who are covered under the first rule.
Yes, Lordship. So their Lordship, their Secretariat means their Secretariat, definition of Secretariat excludes PW department, Lordship.
Why do you say so? On what ground?
Because grade 3, grade 4 are not posts covered by this rule, Lordship.
Right?
Grade 4 and record suppliers covered by the first rule, Lordship. That is Assam Secretariat.
Right. So to sum it up, your argument on this count is that you can fill up the post of LDA in the Secretariat service under rule 8.3. Insofar as the grade 4 is concerned.
Grade 3. 8.3 is for grade 3.
8.3 is for grade 3 from the grade 4.
8.3 is a grade 3 post, Lordship. First option, direct recruitment, that is 60%. Second option is 30%, that is typist. And third option is grade 4 and record suppliers, that is 10%, Lordship.
So this grade 4 staff, according to you, is not provided under this rule. So for grade 4 staff, you will have to go to the other rule, other rule.
Lordship,
Correct.
Lordship.
Now, what is the basis for you to say that it is only those grade 4 staff under the other rule of 1963 which will come into play?
Rule 3 says, Lordship,
Yes.
by selection from among grade 4 staff and record supplier of the secretariat.
All right.
Now
Now-
the
Yes. Now, this brings us to two questions, which apart from other things you argue, you please address the court on these two. First of all, the petitioner herein was definitely appointed by Deputy Secretary of Water Resources Department,
Lordship,
right?
Lordship.
But you say that that is not an appointment made under the first rule of 1963 because
Secretary.
he was not the secretary.
Lordship.
That's the argument, right? Second point, which you please clarify, this person Gajendra Kumar Roy, his appointment was made by whom?
PWD, Lordship.
PWD.
Yes, Lord.
So if that is correct, then as per your argument,
So
PWD.
I'm not going to the aspect of correctness or right or wrong.
But we will go.
That is, yes, Lordship will go, but what is the exact intention of the law, Lordship? That is what I'm trying to submit, Lordship.
So are you saying that Gajendra Kumar Roy was wrongly promoted?
Lordship, that judgment we have already complied, Lordship. One contempt case was also
No,
pending.
no, you have to answer the question. Do you stand by the records adopted in Gajendra Kumar Roy's case, or you say that it is a mistake? You have to tell us. We'll record it in the.
Lordship,
judgment.
if the submission would have been made from this aspect, Lordship, probably that judgment would not have come, Lordship.
That's not the point, Mr. Nayak. You have to be very clear. Are you saying Gajendra Kumar Roy's promotion was incorrect, or are you saying it
Lordship,
was
that
correct?
promotion was made in terms of court's order, Lordship.
Then you make it in terms of the court's order in his case as well.
No, Lordship will, if Lordship pass, Lordship definitely will
Then
comply.
why are
That is
we
not there.
wasting time here?
No, that is one, that is the first aspect, Lordship, what I'm saying, Lordship. Then Lordship will come to the prayer, Lordship.
Hmm.
Lordship may kindly see the prayer.
Prayer and the writ petition.
Yes, Lordship.
Yes.
Page 11, Lordship.
Yes.
To consider the promotion of the petitioner as junior administrative assistant from the post of grade 4 in the vacant post arose before amendment of Rule 2012 notified on 19/10/2012 and in terms of order dated so and so passed in Gajendra Kumar Roy versus Assam Sir. The Gajendra Kumar Roy is a different judgment, Lordship. This is not applicable. What is applicable? What he is praying, Lordship? In 2012, one notification was published enhancing the qualification for promotion to the grade 3 post as graduation, Lordship. Now his qualification is below graduation.
So
So,
if that is so, Mr.
He is
Nayak,
saying, Lordship, don't make that rule applicable to me.
if that is so, Mr. Nayak, then what was the need to come to this page 82 resolution? Page 82 in a counter affidavit. Running page 82. Why was it necessary to come to this minutes of meeting? The last para in page 83. The
Lordship, this is-
MOM
this is-
dated 15/5.
Lordship, in this case, Lordship, the minutes was discussing the case of Gajendra Kumar Roy. One contempt case was pending there.
No, 26, 2019, the minutes of meeting,
Yes,
which is annexure 3, page 82,
Lordship,
running page 12 of your counter affidavit.
Lordship.
Please come to the next page. The penultimate paragraph which starts with after threadbare discussion.
Lordship.
This is a MOM signed by the departmental commissioner, other office bearer, other officials. Is it not? All are government officials. So
Lordship
could
will
you
say,
please read that
Lordship,
para-
Lordship will say our compulsion there, Lordship.
No, please read that paragraph.
Yes,
Then we'll-
after threadbare discussion, the Secretary to the Government of Assam, Secretariat Administration Department was of the opinion that in this matter, view of the Judicial Department has been sought wherein they had advised to follow the honorable court's order. Later on, he was of the view that after recommending that single case of Gajendra Kumar Roy, grade 4, it would be closed forever by amending the Assam Secretariat Subordinate Service Rule 1963. In order not to promote any grade 4 who were appointed other than SA department, finally, it was decided to place the entire matter in selection committee. Lordship, it was court's order was there.
Correct.
So department
the
was very much of
decision
the,
to close promotion for all grade 4 who were appointed other than S. N. Nazare was taken after, to take effect after Gajendra Kumar Roy's
Lordship.
promotion. Correct.
Lordship.
Let us go by what is the letter.
Lordship. Lordship.
You see, there is, you go by what is correct.
Lordship.
There is no personal involvement of anyone. So that happened prior to the order of the court on 27/11/2014, under which the rights of the petitioner are crystallized.
No, in his case was order was passed in the year 2014, Lordship.
That's correct.
Lordship, may kindly see that order at,
27/11/2014.
yes. Lordship, may kindly see the direction there, Lordship. In fact, no direction was issued. It was a direction for
Oh, you
consideration.
also promote 8 out of 9 and say, why
Yeah,
did you promote?
Lordship,
it?
no, in 9 posts fell vacant, Lordship. In terms of this order, 6 persons were promoted. Thereafter, Gajendra Roy was promoted, Lordship. Two posts remained vacant. Lordship, those 2 posts were meant for STH, Lordship. That is why at that point of he could not be promoted. But basic question there was, Lordship will see whether in view of the fact that the vacancies in question had fallen vacant prior to the amendment brought on 9/10/2012 in the same would governed by the pre-amended rules. 2012 notification new amendment was brought, Lordship. So that is why that question was left for the authority to decide whether this rule will apply or that rule will apply. Lordship, authority decided at page annexure in page 57, Lordship. Page 57.
Yes, his case was rejected, petitioner's case.
Yes, Lordship.
Rejected on the ground that he does not belong to.
Lordship, that line, your Lordship may interfere. That is my honest submission, Lordship. Further, please be informed that your petition could not be considered as you are not appointed by the SA department. It was not in terms of the court's order. But what I am submitting, Lordship, even if your Lordship interferes with this order, Lordship, at page 57, Lordship, whether it would be appropriate, Lordship, to pass a direction, Lordship, to consider him.
We will do that. We will do that. These are not things we'll accept. The court of law will not accept this. You pick up people from the same position, junior to him, promote him, he becomes additional secretary.
No, that is not
Suddenly-
correct. No, that is not correct,
That
Lordship.
is recorded in.
No, Lordship. Lordship will see that minute once again. It is not correct, Lordship.
Have a look at it, please.
No, Lordship, I read that.
Page 81.
In that petition, Lordship, the case of the Gajendra Kumar Roy was under consideration. Lordship, may kindly see the second paragraph. As an instance, one incumbent has been promoted up to the post of additional secretary recently, who was originally appointed by the PW department. Full stop. Contempt case, such and such.
Whatever it is, Gajendra
not
Kumar
his-
Roy was similarly situated as the.
Yes, subsequently, in terms of court order, it was promoted to the post of grade 3, Lordship.
Then you are asking the court not to pass an order in petitioner's case. How does it fulfill the mandate of Article 14 and 16? You can conclude your arguments after 5 minutes.
Lordship.
Come back and then, but under which rule is his service governed?
That is the issue, Lordship. That
No, I
is
appreciate
Lordship,
your-
because why I'm persisting, why I'm pressing, Lordship, he is not the only case, Lordship. Other persons are in the line, Lordship.
No,
Make it
I am
clear.
the only
In
case.
the
There is no
PW,
one.
no, here he is only one, Lordship. In
Only
PW department,
Lordship.
Lordship, in the PW department, there are graduate candidates, Lordship, who are seeking for promotion,
That's all right. See, the court will pass judgments in accordance with law.
Lordship. Lordship, that is why I'm submitting. If the rule is not
How the
properly,
government
Lordship,
will deal with it is always up to the government.
Lordship,
And there are elaborate mechanisms, principles to deal with these things. But the courts will have to pass judgments which are fair, transparent, in accordance with law, observes the constitutional formalities and morality. We will have to do that.
Lordship.
If you come up with an argument which shows that this judgment is uncalled for, will not give it. If you say that, well, we have done something wrong, but please don't make it right now. How can the court of
It's an order, is it 27/11/2014, Lordship. Page 53, Lordship will see at paragraph 7. Paragraph 7, down below, Lordship, in
Yes.
YB Rohingya, that judgment was followed, Lordship. And Lordship may come to the conclusion, Lordship, at page 55, Lordship.
Yes, please.
In view of the above, the writ petition is disposed of, directing the respondents to consider the following: whether in view of the fact that the vacancies in question have fallen vacant prior to amendment brought on 19/20/10/2012, the same would be governed by the pre-amended rules. That is one question, Lordship. That was the authority was asked to decide. Second, Lordship, whether the respondents were required to hold the selection every year, that is not necessary. Let the required exercise be done. So basic question was, the authority was to decide whether the vacancies that arose prior to that notification will apply.
So these other 8 candidates, they were all appointed by the secretary of the SAD, Nadarat branch.
No,
Then how their cases were considered?
no. Ultimately, Lordship, the situation with what, irrespective of all the issues, Lordship, the ultimate is whether that qualification requirement is to be excused or not. That is the only issue, Lordship, lastly, Lordship. So
That's good.
going by the prayer, Lordship.
No, Mr. Naik, let's be very clear on what we're saying. There were 8 candidates, 9 candidates before this court in WPC number 4647 of 2013. They had the same prayer. Consider our case for promotion to the junior assistance post
Lordship.
based on the vacancies which arose prior to the amendment of the rules and by breaking it down on year-wise basis. These were the 2 prayers. After hearing the submissions, the learned single judge disposed of the writ petition with a direction that it should be only the pre-amended rules which did not require the qualification of graduation. And the second is the vacancies should be considered year-wise. These are the 2 directions. You followed the direction, considered the case of all 9, promoted 8, but did not give the promotion to the petitioner. What is the reason? He is not covered under the rules
No,
of.
that was not the reason. Was a general vacancy was not there, Lordship.
No, please see what is the page 57. Please come. You are not appointed by S.A. Nazarat.
That is the ultimate order that came out, Lordship, but the reason is also there in my affidavit.
Who had appointed the other 8 candidates? That's what I'm asking.
In this case, definitely it was not by the SAD, Lordship.
Then who?
Look, here, in this case, Lordship, in fact, that issue was not there. Here, the only issue was which particular rule is to be applied, Lordship. Rule means that amendment of 2012.
That's I understand. But the other 8 were also not appointed by S.A. Nazarat department. Why have you singled him out?
No, he was singled out, Lordship, because a general post was not there. 9 posts were vacant, 6 promoted. Another candidate was promoted subsequently, Lordship, but 2 posts remained vacant, but those 2 posts were.
Mr. Naik, you are not correct on fact. The other candidate, Gajendra Kumar Ray, is different matter.
Lord,
He was not amongst the 9 who approached this court in the first
Those
petition.
2 posts were these to give promotion.
he reserved subsequently, Lordship. Lordship, may kindly come to page 6 of my affidavit, Lordship. Page 5 of my affidavit, Lordship, paragraph 10, Lordship. Affidavit of definition is the 75. Page 75, Lordship.
Yes.
Paragraph 10, Lordship. Lordship, as regards to the statements made in paragraph 10 of the writ petition, The deponent respectfully begs to say that earlier also, present petitioner, along with 8 other employees, filed a writ petition number so and so, praying for direction to the respondents in that writ petition for promoting him to the post of junior administrative assistant from grade 4. And the petitioner's claim in that writ petition was that they would still be entitled for promotion as vacancies available at that point of time arose prior to the coming into force of the new notification, that is 2012, whereby the requisite educational qualification was enhanced from HS to degree. By amendment of service rule in 2012, the said writ petition was disposed of by the Honorable Court by its order dated 27/11/2014, directing the respondent authorities to verify the vacancy position and consider the case of the petitioners if vacancies arose prior to the amendment rules. Accordingly, the case of the petitioners of that writ petition was considered by the selection committee in its meeting held on 24/3/2015 after taking views from the judicial department. Subsequently, the number of vacant posts which arose before the amendment of the service rule in the year 2012 were calculated and the number found out to be 9. The department by order number so and so dated 25/5/2015 declared that the names of the petitioners will be placed before the selection committee for consideration for promotion to the post of junior administrative assistant. Thus, the petitioner cannot claim that the action taken by the department is expressly illegal. Lordship will see at the next page. Paragraph 11, Lordship. Paragraph 11. As regards to the statement made in paragraph 100, department begs to state that before the meeting of the selection committee for promotion of grade 4 to the post of junior administrative assistant, a discussion meeting was also held between the Assam Secretariat Grade 4 Employees Association and the Commissioner and Secretary to the Government of Assam, Secretariat Administration Department on 15/5/2015, wherein one of the point of discussion was as regard gradation list of grade 4 employees, and after the discussion, it was decided that there can be only one gradation list for grade 4 employees. Grade 4 employees who are not appointed by the Secretariat Administration Department cannot be included in the gradation list. The case of the petitioner was rejected on the basis of the decision taken in the
After that,
secretary.
change the gradation list. In the original gradation list, petitioner's name.
The gradation list, Lordship will say that earlier Lordship, that grade 4 and record supply rule. In terms of that rule, Lordship, one gradation list already there. And the petitioners are not part of that gradation list.
Oh, Mr. Nayak, this is showing wastage of time. Gajendra Kumar Rai is a part of that gradation list.
No, he was a different list, Lordship.
Oh, please come to.
That is not the gradation list of SAD department, Lordship. They are one gradation list of the SAD department, one gradation list of other departments, Lordship.
Please come to page 69. Sorry, not 69. Where is the gradation list?
Seniority position. Oh, sorry. Page 38 is the communication which enclosed page 39. List of eligible grade 4 employees for the post of JAA.
Yes, page 38.
This is as per seniority position.
What is this?
This is not of the SAD department, Lordship. This is
of
the
which department?
gradation list of other departments, Lordship.
Hmm.
Consisting names of from other departments, Lordship, other works departments like PWD, water is also there, Lordship. Lordship will find the name of Dinesh Singh there from down
Second
the
last.
second.
These petitioners, 8 other petitioners. They are also in that gradation list. Out of the 9 petitioners in the first round of litigation,
They all are from different departments, my lord.
are they included in the same gradation list?
This is the eligibility list as per
Oh,
seniority.
Mr.
I'm sorry.
Das, I'm asking a simple question.
Lord.
Oh. I'll have to do it myself. You don't answer simple. Kishore Kumar Lahakar, is his name there in that gradation list? Matiur Rahman Saika, is his name is there in the gradation list? One sir. Swarmila Swargari, is her name in that gradation list? So in this gradation list at page 39, out of the 9 petitioners, only the 8 petitioners' name is there, is it?
That Governor is also there
Vajendra Rai is there,
in the next page.
right?
Hmm? I 8, 9. Serial number 9. Serial number 9. Let us. Lordship, a separate gradation is maintained for the employees appointed under that earlier rule, Lordship, first rule, Lordship. That is for the secretariat.
So they are appointed under which rule? That's what I'm saying.
They were appointed by the respective
By
departments.
which rule?
That is the issue, Lordship.
You don't know. You are not aware.
That is, we are not aware, Lordship. SAD is not aware. That is the issue, Lordship. But because of that confusion, Lordship, grade 4 and record supplier of secretariat. And in the second rule, Lordship, secretariat includes PW. PW means other work departments like WR and etc. But in the first rule, Lordship, PW is not there. Because of that confusion, Lordship, these persons came under consideration, Lordship, only because of that confusion.
Let the confusion prevail for a little more time.
Lordship.
Anything else you want to say, Mr. Nayak? Anything
Lordship,
else?
2 judgment I am placing, Lordship. Hey, Harry, Rajkumar. Lordship, first judgment, Lordship, it's State of Himachal Pradesh versus Rajkumar, Lordship. Paragraph 70, Lordship.
70.
Yes, Lordship. May I read kindly? A review of the 15 cases that have been distinguished, Rangaya, Lordship, this case was relied upon in the earlier judgment, Lordship, would demonstrate that this court has been consistently carving out exceptions to the broad proposition formulated in Rangaya. The finding in these judgments that have a direct bearing on the proposition formulated by Rangaya are as under. There is no rule of universal application that vacancies must be necessarily filled on the basis of the law which existed on the date when they arose. Rangaya's case must be understood in the context of the rule involved therein. 2. It is now a settled proposition of law that a candidate has a right to be considered in the light of the existed rule, which implies the rule in force as on the date consideration takes place. The right to be considered for promotion occurs on the date of consideration of the eligible candidates. 3. The government is entitled to take a conscious policy decision not to fill up the vacancies arising prior to the amendment of the rules. The employees does not acquire any vested right to be considered for promotion in accordance with the repealed rules in view of the policy decision taken by the government. There is no obligation for the government to make appointments as per the old rules in the event of restructuring of the cadre is intended for efficient working of the unit. The only requirement is that the policy decisions of the government must be fair and reasonable and must be justified on the touchstone of Article 14. Lordship, ultimately, Lordship, in this judgment, the Rangaya judgment was overruled, Lordship, specifically overruled, Lordship. The next judgment,
So
Lordship.
are you saying the judgment of 27/11/2014 need not be followed? What has this got to do?
No,
Because-
in that judgment, Lordship, it was a direction was issued to the government to take a decision which rule is to be followed.
Correct. So the direction was to follow the rules in existence at that point of time.
No, that decision was left to the government, Lordship.
So you have applied the rules,
Yes,
pre-amended rules for the other 8 candidates.
other 8 candidates, that rule was applied.
So that is the law now. That you cannot depart.
No, but the availability of post is there, not there, Lordship. That was the question, Lordship. He would have also been promoted, Lordship. But
But that is
because
not-
of,
That is not the ground on which his prayer was rejected.
to that extent, Lordship will interfere. But so far as that question, Lordship, only 2 posts remain, and those 2 posts meant for STH, Lordship. It is affidavit, in my affidavit, that stand is there, Lordship. 2 posts remain, but in those 2 posts, the petitioner could not be promoted because those 2 posts were meant for STH.
So
Subsequently,
how many posts were there?
9 posts, Lordship.
Uh,
9 posts were vacant prior to 2012.
Where is that step? Where is your statement in the affidavit?
Lordship, may I kindly see my affidavit, Lordship. Paragraph 10, Lordship.
Affidavit.
Paragraph 10, Lordship will see at 3rd paragraph, subparagraph 3, Lordship, subsequently. Subsequently, number of vacant posts which arose before the amendment of the service rule in the year 2012 were calculated and the number found to be 9, Lordship. Page 75 open.
Yes.
And in the next page, Lordship, paragraph 12. The deponent further begs to state that the 2 posts that are lying vacant at present and which arose prior to 2012 are reserved for STH. So the petitioner, being a general category employee, could not be promoted against the state reserve vacancies.
Then the 2 means out of the 9, 2.
Yes,
Correct.
Lordships.
You say that there were 9 posts, 9 vacancies which arose prior to 2012. Am I
Those were
correct?
lying vacant, Lordship.
Yes.
The
Out of-
vacancy arose prior to 2012.
Out of those 9, out of those 9 vacancies, 2 were meant, 2 were reserved for reserved category candidates.
Lordships.
Now, out of these 8 people, how many were from the reserved category candidates?
That exact figure I'm not having, Lordship, but others were promoted. Other means 7 promoted. 2 posts remain, but as those 2 posts were for STH, petitioner could not be promoted. So that was the stand at that
So
point.
as per the judgment dated 27/11/2014, 7 persons have been promoted out of the 9.
Yes, in that petition, 9 persons were there.
How many have been promoted?
So far as this statement is concerned, 7 promoted, Lords.
So who are the 7? Can you please?
Exact names are not here, Lords.
And how this statement has been dealt with in the reply rejoinder affidavit? These are statements made in para 10 and 12. Let us see what they have said. Para 10 and 12, the statements. How it has been dealt with replied.
The reply is that if your lordships kindly turn to the minutes also. And
Just a minute.
Yes.
Let me read this. No, Mr. Das, you see, they have taken a clear stand that at that point of time, there were 9 vacancies which arose prior to the amendments of the rules in the year 2012. Out of these 9, 7 were filled up by promoting candidates, but 2 were meant for reserve category candidates. And therefore, the petitioner's case could not be considered. That is their pleaded stand. you have to meet that point.
First of all, that they are saying in the affidavit, not in the impugnator. Keeping aside for a moment, my lord, Lordship will kindly take up the minutes that I read, my lord, in his affidavit. That page 83, running page.
Yes.
The answer is here, my lord.
Hmm.
Third paragraph, views. Gajendra Chandra Roy, how he was given promotion. Views, my lord will see.
Hmm.
Views of Deputy Secretary to the Government of Assam, WPT BC Department was
Yeah,
on
referring to page.
page 83, running page.
Hmm.
Internal page 13, that will be the
Yes.
affidavit in opposition.
Yes.
Views of the Deputy Secretary to the Government of Assam, WPT BC Department was also sought for on the matter of availability of two number of posts which is reserved for STH are to be filled up by HS past candidates as per pre-amended rules. He opined that these two posts had to be de-reserved. Had to be. And in their affidavit, they say are reserved for STH category. There is a difference between had to be and are reserved. In their minutes say those posts were already de-reserved. That's how they gave promotion to Gajendra Kumar Roy. They de-reserve two posts and make it open for those 9 persons or who were covered under those two judgments, within those two judgments. Either 9 petitioners or Gajendra. That's how they given Gajendra, how they will give them, if not de-reserved. So there's para 12, there's 10. No, it is factually incorrect. There is a difference between had to be de-reserved and are reserved.
In the affidavit that has not been denied in his reply affidavit.
Your stand.
Next judgment, Lordship. State of Uttar Pradesh versus Rasna Hill, Lordship. Paragraph 28, 32, and 33.
Yes. Paragraphs.
Paragraph 30, paragraph 28, 32, and 33, Lordship. Lordship, paragraph, in these two paragraphs, Lordship will see the just reproduction of that earlier judgment, Lordship. Lordship, I am coming to paragraph 33. Page 22, Lordship. In view of the clear enunciation of the law, we have no hesitation in rejecting the submission made by the learned counsels for the respondents that the vacancies that existed prior to the amendment of Regulation 17 of Chapter 2 must be governed by the unamended rules.
So that goes in his favor.
No. Here, Lordship, the judgment of this state of Himachal Pradesh, Ryan Rajkumar was upheld, Lordship.
Actually, rejecting the submission. Anyway, but that part will not go into, because that is a part of the judgment which is attained finality.
Lordship.
This court cannot hold that that judgment was wrong.
As on date, Lordship. If today, Lordship, his case is at all is to be
Right,
considered.
Mr. Goswami.
Just one last one citation, Lordship, that 2011 3 SCC 436, Lordship. That is State of Odisha versus Mamta Mohanty, Lordship. One specific paragraph was there, Lordship. Relief not claim cannot be granted, Lordship. That's I am relying, Lordship. Thanks.
Look, so far legal proposition and my little factual metrics are concerned, my lord, I have nothing to dispute with my learned friend, my lord. He has submitted, my lord. So far area of interference is concerned, my lord, that part I leave it to your lordship, my lord. And in fact, my lord, although it came in the year 2015, as I have seen, my lord, this because of the rules cannot be considered. But prior to that, 2008, my lord, in fact, the case of the petitioner was taken up, my lord, for consideration. In that time, my lord, his position was 30. And as he has submitted, my lord, that the authority concerned did not submit the ACR, all these things, my lord. That is also not correct, my lord. Everything was submitted. my
Why
lord.
it was not considered 2008?
My lord, because considered, my lord, his name was placed, considered, and since names of 33 eligible under the zone of consider 13 numbers of vacancy, 1-3. At that time, there were only 13 numbers of vacancies, my lord. Against 13 numbers of vacancies, my lord, altogether 33 persons were taken into consideration. And his position was at 3-0. And one aspect I like to clarify, my lord. Right, I'm there. So for PWD, my lord, earlier, my lord, there was only one works department. And it was outside the secretariat campus. And so far, appointment to the post of grade 4 is concerned, my lord, that authority was given to the works department. That is why that rules which my learned friend has referred to, my lord. So when it came within the campus of, my lord, the secretariat administration, my lord, then certainly if one is proposed to be considered for promotion, then, my lord, that rule, there is no dispute with regard to the, my lord, the applicability of the rules, my lord. That part, I have nothing to say. My learned friend has elaborately submitted before lordship, my lord. And so far, that confusion is concerned, my lord, because it was outside the secretariat complex. That is why the authority was granted, my lord. The secretariat, PWD secretariat, once, my lord, in Assam, my lord, there was only one works department. Later on, that is the PWD. And that is why your lordship will, in all cases, your lordship will see, my lord, PWD is referred to.
When was it segregated? When?
My lord,
Segregation.
time to time, my lord. Thereafter, my lord, public health engineering, water resource department, irrigation, all these departments, my lord, were segregated. Later on, my lord. That is why in all cases, my lord, PWD is referred to. Earlier, only one department. One note, lordship may not refer to, but for the purpose of deciding issue, my lord, how the authority took up the matters. Not that, my lord, authority is against the, my lord, consideration of the case of the petitioner. That is also not correct, my lord. Although lordship, it's an internal communication, my lord. And now, my lord, at the most, my lord, the area of consideration is, my lord, as my learned friend has submitted, my lord, the eligibility of the petitioner at the appropriate time and at present.
The petitioner is working as Daftari.
Within the presently Daftari. One promotion in the cadre of grade 4, my lord. Because personal department is the nodal agency.
This SAD was, has been.
Now, my lord, it is known as, my lord, General Administration. It is merged with the General Administration Department. Only one department. Earlier, Secretariat Establishment Department.
All right.
So
take-
my final and last submission is, my lord, subject to eligibility, my lord.
Hmm.
And the availability of vacancy at the relevant point of time and the present base, my lord. His case, my lord, authority may be directed to take up the matter. To be taken up.
Yes. Not Mr. H. K. Das,
But
the
it was-
counsel appearing for the writ petitioner. I have also heard Mr. B. Goswami, learned additional advocate general Assam appearing for the Water Resources Department, that is the response numbers 1, 2,
It was secretary.
and 3. First of Mr. P. Nayak, Leonard Standing Council GAD has appeared on behalf of response numbers 4 to 7. Full stop. The case of the petitioner, in a nutshell, is that he was initially appointed
This weapon.
in a grade 4 post, bracket peon, under the flood control department, bracket, now renamed as Water Resources Department, bracket close, by the order dated 1/8/1997
I think on compassionate ground, initial.
on compassionate ground. By the order dated 1/8/1997 issued by the Under Secretary to the Government of Assam, Flood Control Department, Guwahati. Full stop. Pursuant to his appointment, the petitioner has been serving in the Assam Secretariat since then. Full stop. The grievance of the petitioner, it appears that the petitioner was promoted to the post of Daftari, which is also a grade 4 post. Full stop. However, the grievance of the petitioner is that although he was entitled to be promoted to the grade 3 post of junior administrative assistant. Is it junior administrative?
Yes,
assistant?
yes.
Yet he has not been promoted as such, although his junior in service has been promoted long back. Full stop. It appears that the condition of service of the petitioners
At the time of appointment.
at the time of
Appointment, that rules which my
at the
learned
time
friend
of
has
his
referred.
appointment
This person to.
is governed, was governed by the
Where it says, my lord.
Some grade 4 records of years,
Ah.
rules 1960.
Yes, my lord. The Assam Secretariat Grade 4 and Record Supplier Service Rules
the
1963.
Assam Secretariat grade Roman 4 and record suppliers service rules, 1963. Unquote, bracket, hereinafter. refer to
Definition 2 and Roman.
Rules of 1963. Full stop. The rules of 1963 provides for promotion of grade 4 category employees to the next higher grade. That is grade 3. Full stop. As per the rules of 1963, the 1963, the eligibility requirement for promotion to grade 3 was one of the eligibility requirement for promotion to the grade 3 was that the candidate should be HSLC pass, is it?
HSSLC, you know, higher secondary, subsequently amended.
HSSLC pass. Full stop. However, subsequently, the rules of 1963 was amended on 19/20 19/20 10-2012, whereby it was provided that the educational qualification for promotion to the grade 3 post would be graduation, full stop. At the relevant point of time, there were as many as 9 departmental candidates serving in the grade 4 post who were entitled to be considered for promotion to the post of grade 4, but did not possess the qualification of graduation. Full stop. Moreover, now graduation as such, aggrieved by the amendments carried out to the rules of 1963 as notified on 19/10/2012, as many as 9 grade 4 employees, including the writ petitioner herein, had approached this court by filing WPC number 4647/2013, inter alia contending that they were entitled to be considered against 9 vacancies in the grade 3 post of junior administrative assistant, which arose prior to the amendments of the rules of 1963. Full stop. Moreover, the petitioners have also contended that the authorities were duty bound to hold selection for filling up those vacancies year wise. Full stop. It was also canvassed on behalf of the writ petitioners in WPC number 4647/2013 that under the rules of 1963, 10% of the posts in grade 3 category were reserved for being filled up by promoting grade 4 category employees. And therefore, if the 10% earmark quota is applied, then there were as many as 9 vacancies available at the 9 vacancies which had arisen prior to the amendments of the rule. Full stop. After taking note of the facts and circumstances of the case, and after hearing the arguments advanced by the learned counsel for both the sides, the learned single judge had disposed of the writ petition being WPC number 4647/2013 by the judgment and order dated 27/11/2014, inter alia holding that the authorities would be bound to apply the pre-amended rules so as to fill up the vacancies which arose prior to the amendment of the rules. Full stop. Which arose now, which were existing prior to the amendment of the rules. Full stop. The aforesaid finding was recorded by relying upon the law laid down by the Honorable Supreme Court in the case of Y full stop V full stop Rangaiah, RANGAIAH and others versus J full stop Srinivasa, SREENIVASA, Srinivasa Rao and others, reported in 1983, 3 SCC 284, and other connected decisions. Accordingly, the following directions were issued by the order dated 27/11. Now, accordingly, the learned single judge had issued the following directions by order dated 27/11/2014, which are quoted herein below. You will get it in page 55, para 12. Double tick to double tick, para 12, page 55. It appears that pursuant to the judgment and order dated 27/11/2014, the departmental authorities had considered the case of all the 9 writ petitioners and thereafter promoted as many as, how many? 7 of them. 7 of them. Full stop. However, the case of the writ petitioner was rejected by the notification dated, rejected on the ground that he was not appointed by the S full stop A bracket Nazarat bracket close department. The said decision of the Secretariat Administration Department bracket SAD bracket close was communicated to the petitioner by the letter dated 19/9/2015. Full stop. It further transpires from the materials available on record that around the same time, another person who was also appointed in a works department in a grade 4 post and whose name was included in the gradation list of the grade 4 employees who were eligible for being promotion to the post of junior administrative assistant had approached this court by filing writ petition hearing number 564/2015, seeking a similar direction upon the authorities to consider his case for promotion. First of, his aforesaid writ petition was initially disposed of by the judgment and order dated 22/4/2015. Full stop. However, the state had preferred a review of the judgment dated 22/4/2015, which was allowed. Full stop. Consequently, writ petition being WPC number 564/2015 was reheard. Full stop. After reheard and disposed of by the judgment and order dated 29/8/2018 by take full stop. While disposing of WPC number 564/2015, the learned single judge had taken note of the observations made by this court in the earlier writ petition being WPC number 4647/2013, disposed of by the judgment and order dated 27/11/2014 and directed the authorities to consider the case of the writ petitioner, that is Gajendra Kumar Ray, for promotion to a grade 3 post of junior administrative assistant as per the rules of 1963 against vacancies which had occurred prior to the amendment of the rules carried out in the year 2012. It appears that Gajendra Kumar Rai was another candidate who did not possess the qualification of graduation which was required under the amended rules of 1963. Consequent to the judgment and order dated 29/8/2018, the government of Assam in the Department of SAD had issued order dated
Page 69.
page
69.
order dated 11/9/2019, promoting him to the post of junior administrative assistant in the pay band of rupees 14,000 49,000 plus grade pay of rupees 8,700 by taking resort to Rule 8, bracket 3 of the rules of 1963. Full stop. When the case of the writ petitioner, who was similarly situated as Gajendra Kumar Ray, but was senior to him in service, was rejected by the authorities. The petitioner had approached this court for the second time by filing the present writ petition with a prayer to consider his case for promotion to the post of junior administrative assistant, bracket JAA, bracket close, against the vacant post which arose prior to amendment of the rules of 2012 as notified on 19/10/2012. Sir, before that you write the operative part of the judgment and order dated 29/8/2018, passed in WPC number 564/2015, is reproduced herein below for ready reference. Para 13 to para 13. Para 13, huh? Then continuation part. In terms of the directions passed by the learned single judge in WPC number 564/2015. By referring to the materials available on record, Mr. Das, learned counsel for the writ petitioner, submits that although the initial appointment of the petitioner is by the Deputy Under Secretary, Flood Control Department, yet the petitioner had all along rendered his services in the Secretariat Administration branch of the government of Assam. Not only that, Mr. Das, according to Mr. Das, the petitioner is similarly situated as the 8 other petitioners in WPC number 14, whatever. WPC number 4647/2013. And he was evidently and admittedly senior to Gajendra Kumar Rai, who also belonged to the same category. Notwithstanding the same, all other candidates have been promoted by leaving aside the petitioner. Full stop. Mr. Das has further argued that in view of the directions passed by the learned single judge in WPC number 4647/2003, the authorities ought to have considered the case of the petitioner for promotion to the post of junior administrative assistant against one of those nine vacancies which arose prior to the amendment of the rules by notification dated 19/10/2012. Full stop. The same not having been done. The uh, the respondents have acted in clear violation of the legal and fundamental rights of the petitioners by meting out a discriminatory treatment to him. Full stop. To that extent, Mr. Das has made an oral prayer to set aside the communication dated 19/9/2015 issued by the Joint Secretary to the Government of Assam communicating the decision of the department not to consider the petitioner's case since he was not appointed by as full stop A full stop Nazarat bracket close in bracket Nazarat department. Full stop. The above submission of the petitioner's counsel has been strongly opposed by Mr. P. Nayak, learned standing counsel for the GAD department, who has led the arguments on behalf of the respondents to contend that although the appointment of the petitioner was under the rules of 1963, yet the question of considering this case for promotion can only be dealt with by another set of rules, namely the Assam Secretariat Subordinate Service Rules, 1963. Namely under Rule 8 bracket 3 of the Assam Secretariat Subordinate Service Rules 1963. Mr. Nayak has further submitted that although under the rules of 1963, submits that under the rules of 1963, the PWD Secretariat is not included in the definition of Assam Secretariat, but under the Assam Secretariat Subordinate Service Rules, 1963. The Public Works Department Secretariat is included. Full stop. It is on such count, Mr. Nayak has argued that the read petitioner cannot claim any right to be promoted under the rules of 1963, since his original appointment was in a works department which formed part of the Public Works Department, and the said department was not a part of the Secretariat under the rules. Full stop. The learned departmental counsel, however, could not throw any light as to under which rules the appointment of the petitioner was initially made. Full stop. Be that as it may, by referring to the decision of the Supreme Court rendered in the case of State of Himachal Pradesh and others versus Rajkumar and others, reported in 2022 SCC Online SC 680, as well as the subsequent decision rendered in the case of State of Uttar Pradesh and others versus Rachana Hills and others, bracket civil appeal number 1882 of 2023. See if it is reported and you can get you. Mr. Nayak submits that the decision rendered in the case of YV Rangaya, bracket which was relied upon by the learned single judge while delivering the judgment and order dated 27/11/2014 has since been substantially diluted in as much as
Overruled. Paragraph 73. Lord.
has been overruled in as much as it is no longer the law that the rules applicable at the time when the vacancies arose alone will have to be applied for filling up those. First up, as such, submits Mr. Nayak. The amended rules would come into play even if it is to be considered, even if the petitioner's case is to be considered for promotion to any vacancy arising before the notification dated 19/10/2012 was issued, amending the rules of 1963. Full stop. Next paragraph. The learned departmental council has further argued that out of the 9 posts, 9 vacancies of junior administrative assistant, which had arisen prior to the amendment of the rules of 1963, as many
2012.
that is amendment of rules of 1963 made in the year 2012. 2 of those posts were reserved for SC, ST category candidates, and therefore the writ petitioner being the 9th candidate in order of seniority, his case could not have been considered against one of those 2 vacancies. It is on such count the learned standing council GAD has prayed for dismissal of the writ petition. Mr. B. Goswami, learned additional AG Assam, has submitted that he does not dispute the contentions advanced by the by Mr. P. Nayak and his standing council GAD, but merely submits that if a direction is issued by the court to consider the case of the petitioner, the same will be complied with. Full stop. I have considered, that's right,
In consideration with the vacancy position of the relevant.
with reference to the vacancy position arising at the relevant point of time. Full stop. I have considered the submissions advanced by learned counsel for both the sides and have carefully gone through the materials available on record. First of the basic facts of the case are more or less admitted. First of, it is not in dispute that the writ petitioner was originally appointed on compassionate ground in the flood control department of Assam, by notification dated 1/8/1997, and since then he has been continuously serving in against a grade 4 post. A perusal of the notification dated 1/8/1997 grade 4 post in the secretariat establishment of the government of Assam. A perusal of the notification dated 1/8/1997 goes to show that the said notification was issued by the Under Secretary to the Government of Assam in the Nazarat branch of the Flood Control Department. Full stop. Full stop. The writ petitioner, as noted above, the writ petitioner was one of the 9 petitioners who had approached this court by filing WPC number 4647/2013. It appears that 2013, which was disposed of by the judgment and order dated 27/11/2014, there is no dispute about the fact that save and accept the writ petitioner, all the other eligible candidates had been promoted to the post of junior assistant without insisting on the enhanced educational qualification of bachelor's degree introduced by the amendments to the rules notified on 19/10/2012. First up, the case of the petitioner was not rejected because he did not meet the eligibility requirement or that there was no vacancy available. But as is apparent from the communication dated 19/9/2015, his case was rejected. His case was not considered merely because he was not appointed by the Secretariat Administration Nazarat close department. Full stop. Full stop. However, it is not in dispute that Sri Gajendra Kumar Ray, who was also not appointed by the Secretariat Administration Nazarat branch, but was serving in a grade 4 post at the Secretariat Administration from Assam, was considered and was junior to the petitioner, was considered for promotion to the post of junior assistant. Full stop. Full stop. I find from the record that the a meeting was held with the Assam Secretariat Grade 4 Employees Association under the chairmanship of the Commissioner and Secretary, SAD on 15/5/2015. Wherein it was decided that only those grade 4 employees who were appointed by the SA Nazarat close department would be included in the gradation list of grade 4 employees. Full stop. The said decision was to take effect prospectively. However, in the gradation list prepared by the department earlier and circulated by notification dated 28/1/2011, the name of the writ petitioner finds place in the list of eligible grade 4 employees for being promoted to the post of junior administrative assistant, and the name of Sri Gajendra Kumar Ray appears below the petitioner. First up, it also appears that next paragraph on 26/6/2019, a meeting at the departmental level was held under the chairmanship of the Secretary to the Government of Assam, Secretariat Administration Department, so as to consider the matter of promotion of grade 4 employees to the post of junior administrative assistant. In the said, the minutes of meeting held on 26/2019 indicates that the department had considered various aspects of the matter, including the issue pertaining to the promotion of Sri Gajendra Kumar Ray and the orders passed by this court in the aforementioned proceedings, including WPC number 564/2015. After a threadbare discussion of the matter, the committee had resolved as follows in page 83, running page 83. This is a part of the MOM. From a conjoint reading of the MOM dated 15/5/2015 as well as 26/2019, what transpires is that the department had taken a conscious decision not to include the names of those grade 4 employees not appointed by the SA Nazaret branch, and also to close the channel of promotion of grade 4 employees who were appointed other than the SA Nazaret branch with prospective effect of 15/5/2015 and 26/2019 respectively. However, the right of the petitioner to be considered for promotion against one of the vacancies in the post of junior administrative assistant, which arose prior to amendment of the rules, had crystallized under the judgment and order dated 27/11/2014. Full stop. Therefore, by the subsequent decisions taken in the aforementioned meetings as recorded in the MOMs dated so and so and so and so, the right which had accrued to the petitioner under the judgment and order dated 27/11/2014 would not have been taken away with retrospective effect. In other words, since the judgment and order dated 27/11/2014 had attained finality in the eye of law, the respondent authorities were duty bound to consider the case of the petitioner strictly in terms of the letter and spirit of the said judgment, which was evidently not done in this case. Full stop. The question as to whether the grade 4 employees would have to be appointed by this SA Nazaret department was neither agitated in WPC number so and so, nor was the said matter gone into by the court. Full stop. Therefore, subsequently, the department cannot take such a stand which tends to negate the relief that was given to the petitioners in the said proceeding. Full stop. Coming to the next issue raised by the learned departmental council to the effect that there were only 7 vacancies available, as the other 2 vacancies were meant for reserve category candidates. The said argument made by Mr. Nayak is also found to be untenable on the face of the records, in as much as the minutes of the meeting dated 26/2019 itself goes to show that the 2 posts meant for STH, not STSC, no, STH, were already de-reserved. Full stop. The aforesaid position stands further fortified from the fact that Sri Gajendra Kumar Ray was evidently appointed against one of these 2 vacancies, although he was not a reserve, he was not a candidate belonging to the STH. Full stop. Mr. Nayak has also argued that the law having been the decision in the case of YV Rangaya having been overruled, the decision rendered by the learned single judge by order dated 27/11/2014 need not be complied with. I'm afraid such a stand of the departmental council cannot be accepted. Full stop. A judgment which has attained finality in the eye of law, whereunder the rights of the petitioners had crystallized, and some of the petitioners having been granted relief, the department cannot now take a different stand in the matter by contending that the subsequent decisions are not consistent with the views of the learned single judge. Such a recourse would be permissible only if the decision of the learned single judge by order dated 27/11/2014 is assailed and the same is overturned in a, in a, in an appropriate proceeding. First term. Therefore, the aforesaid argument of Mr. Nayak is also rejected. First term. Before concluding, it will be pertinent to note herein that it is a matter of public record that in the state of Assam, the original works department was the Public Works Department, bracket PWD, which continued to deal with all types of works in the state of Assam. First up, with the passage of time and with the demand for various kind of works growing across the state, the Public Works Department was bifurcated from time to time so as to give birth to several other departments, including the Flood Control Department, bracket Water Resources, bracket close, Public Health Engineering Department, bracket, then which are the others?
Public Health Engineering Department,
Irrigation Department, etc. Full stop. Therefore, since the name of the
Water Resource.
water is, since the rules of 1962 clearly mentions that the since the rules of service, since the Assam Secretariat Service Subordinate Service Rules of 1963 clearly includes the PWD Secretariat within its fold, it cannot be said that the Water Resources Department should be treated to be outside the purview of the rules. In any event, since the petitioner has been continuously serving in the Secretariat under the Secretariat branch of the state of Assam, his services must be treated to be one governed under the control of the Secretariat Administration Department, now renamed as General Administration Department. Full stop. Therefore, the benefit of consideration for promotion flowing to the petitioner under the judgment and order dated 27/11/2014 cannot now be denied to him by taking some hyper-technical pleas which were never canvassed by the department at any point of time. For the reasons stated here and above, this read petition succeeds and is hereby allowed. The respondent number, who is the one to consider?
AD.
The respondent,
One thing, can be allowed to aid my submission, madam. While Lordship is aiding my lord, my argument, vacancy position. In addition to that, my lord, as per the rules applicable to all employees, all similarly situated persons, my lord.
but that goes without saying.
That, my lord, and the eligibility, that person, lordship, that's my submission. That may be-
No, eligibility at that point of time, under the judgment dated 27/11.
Yes, my lord.
Yes.
But eligibility, that part, at least, my lord. Because lordship.
Will be considered by respondent number 4.
1 and 4, my lord.
1 and 4. By taking note of the eligibility condition of the petitioner as existing under the judgment and order dated 27/11/2014, and thereafter plus appropriate orders
From the date of his junior.
judgment and order dated 27/11/2018, as well as the judgment dated
29/8/2018.
29/8/2018 passed in WPC number
564
564 of 2015, and thereafter pass appropriate orders within a period of 4 weeks from the date of receipt of the certified copy of this order. Matters can be disposed.
From the,
Parties to bear their own cost.
from the date.
Yes. That they will do.
That lordship will inform. I have a
This bench is not sure about what happens in the second round.
That's what,
You can take a chance or
if your lordships do not mind, will have item number 24, 31 of the supplementary list may come up on 20th, next Tuesday. And the 24 may come up on 22nd.
Lordship, with regard
Next
to,
Thursday.
Lordship, with regard to item number 31, may I pray for 22nd? Your
let him finish.
No, no.
What is this?
20th will be Tuesday.
So you want item, which item on 20th?
31 supplementary, my lord.
Item 31, list again on 20th of.
22nd, sir.
22nd.
22nd,
He
22nd
said
Lordship.
his senior will not be here. Let it be on 22nd.
Acha, 22nd. On the prayer of Lady Council, both sides.
And the item number 24 may be on 28th.
Item number 24 on the prayer of Lady Council on 24, 20th.
20th.
Item 24 on 20th. Yes.
My lord, item
And
number
the
6
interim order may continue.
Next two items, my lord.
Interim order passed earlier may continue in item 24.
24.
My lord, next two, 6 and 7, my lord. It was fixed today, my lord. Can it be taken on 22nd?
Yes.
22nd, oblige.
Your Lordship, I beg to mention item number 9 and 10. Mr. B Chaudhary is handling the case, Lordship. He is some difficulty today. Can it be,
After vacation.
Lordship, that may be fixed.
Yes, choose the date after vacation.
Lordship, item number 13, my
That
lord.
may be fixed, Lordship.
Item number 13, my
You
lord.
have all matters on 20, nothing will be taken up.
May it come
You have it. You keep
20.
coming, you keep coming and sitting here.
21st.
Nothing will be taken. If you have 40 matters in a day, nothing will be taken. Rather than you take dates where your matter will be hard.
My lord,
This is
item,
my suggestion. You can choose.
my lord, item number 28, I'm sorry, my lord. Those APSC matters, my lord. My lord, we are agreeable, my lord, this, we can withdraw and file a fresh, my lord.
Item numbers?
28, my case and my brother's case and.
No, I'm not.
Okay. So far I am concerned, I'll, my lord, withdraw and file a fresh, my lord.
All right, then you write in respective cases.
Item number 28,
Mr. H. K. Das, learned counsel for the petitioner in this petition submits that in view of the subsequent developments, it has become necessary to project the case of the petitioner in a different manner.
my lord.
Therefore, the petitioner be granted liberty to withdraw this writ petition and file afresh.
Yes,
Leave to withdraw this writ petition with liberty to file
my
afresh.
lord.
Prayer allowed. These writ petitions stand disposed upon with liberty as paid for. The other side, you write, Mr. T.J. Mahanta, P. Sharma is present on behalf of the APSC and do not have any objection if the prayer is allowed.
My lord, one prayer in respect of item 26, madam. The matter is being adjourned for want of records, madam, which they say misplaced. May I pray for a date? Even I have taken instance today also, they say it's not yet located. So any day next week, madam.
All matters will be fixed on 22nd.
22nd.
Item
Nothing will be taken up.
Lordship,
Because you had all matters together.
Item 30, we are pursuing, Lordship, not which item 20.
Item 30, you are
Yes.
there.
Yes, Lordship.
29, your lordship, I am not pressing the other prayers, your lordship. The prayer for OMR, supply of inspection of the OMR, your lordship, that prayer,
You are not withdrawing.
I am not withdrawing.
And about you?
Item 30 also I am not withdrawing.
No. So 28 and 30 will continue.
On 20th,
This-
Lordship.
29 and 30, huh?
Lordship,
on 20th.
date may be as your lordship, as per lordship.
22nd.
As per your lordship.